acquaintance knew them, and he went around trying to collect the I think it was 300 ruble. Today I don't know what that would mean, probably in the millions. And he was able to collect from towns and villages a few coppers, a few pennies. And you know, every day this family is suffering. He's trying to get the money, and he can't come up with it. It's already Erev Yom Kippur. Everybody's getting ready for Kol Nidrei, fast day, and he's thinking to himself, "What could I still do? Could you know, make his appointments, make his preparations to get ready for Yom Kippur." In his mind, he had to you know, they're over a month already. Finally, he remembered that the only place they didn't go to was at the end of town. There was a bar, a gambling casino. And he didn't go there yet, and there's money over there. They're not known to give a lot of tzedakah, but you know, money they have. Decided to go down to the casino. Comes in, at first he's a little taken back, you know, tables sitting around with cards and playing. And nevertheless, in the middle of the table there's a pile of money, and that's what he needs. Finally, he inches over to a table and he says, "This is a poor family, they're thrown to a pit, and I need 300 ruble. Could you help me out with something? Take a look at all the money you have." And obviously I told him, you know, "Hey, bug off, we're trying to have some fun over here, we're trying to play a game over here. Go look somewhere else. This is going to the wrong address." But he kept on, you know, the need was great, the money is there, and he didn't let them alone. Finally, they saw they couldn't get rid of him, so one of them came up with a good idea. He took out a goblet, those large cups, and he fills it up with spirit. 96 again. That's 190 proof. He says, "You finish the glass, you down it, you can take the whole pile." 100 ruble of it. It's a third of the way there, and but a glass of spirit's not easy to down. Akapanim, he had no other choice. Closed his eyes, downed it, and they gave him. They gave him the 100 ruble. Now, encouraged by that drink, he inches over to the next table. Over here he's a little bit more brave, and he says, "Come on, I need another 200 ruble. You have to give it to me. You have to help me get this family out. Whereas tonight's Yom Kippur, they have to be out before Yom Kippur." And again, they tried to get rid of him. He wouldn't let. And finally, he says, "You know, they gave me. That table gave me. You can also give me. They gave you." Went over to the table. Says, "You guys gave me." Yeah, he found a goblet of his. Oh, so they did the same trick. It was a little easier to make the decision now under the influence, and he downed it. Now he went over to the third table. This is the last over here already. He was pretty brave. He laid himself down on the table. Says, "He give me the 100 ruble. I need it. The family's going to go free before Yom Kippur." And they found out the short. They found out what got him the other two. So they tried the same trick. He says, "Okay, once I've downed this one, do me one favor. 100 ruble. I'm going to have a bag over there with the other 200. Put it together. And someone just volunteered to carry me over to the parts, the squire's house, the landlord's house, and just drop me off by his door." Good. Easy to get rid of him like that. It was easy, so they did it, he downed it, and they carried him over. Starts knocking at the door, and the butler opens up the door and calls out to the squire that there's a drunkard laying over there. And he mumbles over there that, you know, the family, here's the ruble. Just take the money and let the family get rid of him. So they let the family out, and he says to them, "Listen, I don't know who I am, just, I know it's Yom Kippur, take me to the shul and drop me off in the back on the bench." And that's what they did. I mean, they saved their lives and they, you know, paid their rent, and they owned at least that much. Put him down on the bench, he was out. Shul comes in, everybody gets ready for Yom Kippur, for Kol Nidrei. Finally, they come to Aron Kodesh, they got the secretaries and start humming, you know, the tune before Kol Nidrei, and he wakes up. He sees the Aron Kodesh is open, the secretaries are out. So he runs up to the bima, Come out there, they saw zum ersten Mal. It's a coffee, no? When you take out all the Sefer Torahs. And everybody wanted to, carry him out of shul, what's this over there? We keep a Kol Nidrei. The Yitzchok turns around and says, follow his instructions. And he announced who gets the Sefer Torah, go dancing. And they went to Hakafa, and after Hakafa he was out, and they put him into the bag. They finished the Kol Nidrei, finished davening, and they turned to the Yitzchok and said, how come you let him get away with this? It's a very solemn moment, and everybody's starting in Kippur with davening, and he was obviously intoxicated, and you let him. You don't understand. The avodah of a yid is we start off with Rosh Hashanah and we keep on stepping higher and higher, until ultimately the highest service of the Eibishter is in Simchas Torah. It's the greatest simcha, everyone together. Sefer Torah, as the Rebbe points out, is covered and tied, and like the Chumash, Torah Tziva Lanu Moshe Merosh Kedas Yaakov. That it's our inheritance. It belongs to each and every one of us equally. It's not opened up, and not the great Talmidei Chachamim show their great scholarship in Pulpulim that they could explain the Torah. It's a Jew, we own the Sefer Torah. And that's the greatest symbol. Says what he did today, he reached straight to the top. We have no right to hold him back. We have to work our way up with Simcha. But the question is, how do we attain Simcha? People have been pursuing happiness since Adam HaRishon. Since the first man was created, we've been looking for happiness. And yet, imagine if you take someone from what is it, still 2011, from 1911, and you describe to him the world that we're living in. Right? The abilities that we have today in every aspect, the communications abilities, the aviation abilities, then to travel was, who knows what it took to travel the horse and buggy from one place to another place. Now, who's speaking about already going across the oceans? But today it's flying out in space already. To communicate, to tell them that you could communicate in seconds all over the world. In fact, you can even speak out to space and back. And the abilities to cook and to wash. And then if you're hot, you push a button and you can cool off. If it's cold, you can push a button and warm up. The house is, with the abilities that they have today. You can go on and on with all this, the change, the way the world changed in the last 100 years. If you tell it to someone from 1911, they'll tell you that it'll never happen. It's a fantasy. But if it does happen, everybody's going to be happy. That'll be heaven. It's Gan Eden. You're describing a world that, all our problems and all our hang-ups and all our difficulties, everything will be solved. And yet, here we are. Are we that much more happy? Do we really feel that we have advanced? I think there's more people lying on the couches with psychiatrists or looking for other ways for happiness, whether it's drinking, it's bad. Various drugs and drinking, and everybody's looking for happiness. And yet, where is it? On the other hand, you find some people that are truly happy and they had difficult lives. The Bezusha Nepali, Rav Shem Tov sent one of his Hasidim to be Makabel Yisurim Ba'ava. Shem Tov was teaching the students that a person could accept suffering with love. A relationship with the Eibush that wouldn't hinder it at all. And you find the Hasid came to the Bezusha and he's watching, he saw suffering galore. I mean, he lived in a shed, that it was rain that came straight into the house, and it was cold in the winter, and they were ill. And the Rebbe said, "You sure that Hashem Tov sent you to me? I have no Yisurim." His evaluation of life was a total different evaluation. He was always besimcha. Didn't like anything. So the problem is that we confuse simcha with pleasure. We're all pursuing pleasure, not simcha. And pleasure can never be satisfied. Says some Siddur. The more you exercise pleasure, the more you want. Temporarily it feels good, but then you need a higher, a greater, what do they call it? Dosage or excitement or bezos. It's never satisfied. It's never you reach a point where you're settled, this is it. Pleasure always wants more. Satisfied only temporarily and it keeps on growing. Simcha is a completely different story. For that, let's sing Chaim, sing a Simcha Dikaligin, and then we'll try to give you the solution. Chaim.
You have a Dutch menu? You don't get to street chairs.
No. If someone's, no. This one.
Enter
If
it.
someone's the Simcha, then it's a solution. If someone does not have Simcha, what they want is wild.
Question is, I borrow a bench. Make more room, maybe I can. You have a bench? Yeah, there's no room for that.